Hello, everybody. This is The Home in the World by Rabindranath Tagore. Chapter 4, Nikhil's Story, Part 3. I was never self-conscious, but nowadays I often try to take an outside view, to see myself as Bimmel sees me. What a dismally solemn picture it makes, my habit of taking things too seriously. Better surely to laugh away the world than flood it with tears. It is, in fact, how the world gets on. We relish our food and rest only because we can dismiss as so many empty shadows the sorrows scattered everywhere, both in the home and in the outer world. If we took them as true, even for a moment, where would be our appetite, our sleep? But I cannot dismiss myself as one of these shadows, and so the load of my sorrow lies eternally heavy on the heart of my world. Why not stand out aloof in the highway of the universe and feel yourself to be part of the all? In the midst of the immense age-long concourse of humanity, what is Bimmel to you? Your wife? What's a wife? A bubble of a name blown big with your own breath, so carefully guarded night and day, yet ready to burst at any pinprick from outside. My wife, and so forsooth my very own. If she says, "No, I'm myself," am I to reply, "How can that be? Are you not mine?" My wife. Does that amount to an argument, much less the truth? Can one imprison a whole personality within that name? My wife. Have I not cherished in this little world all that is purest and sweetest in my life, never for a moment letting it down from the bosom to the dust? What incense of worship, what music of passion, what flowers of my spring and of my autumn have I not offered up to its shrine? If, like a toy paper boat, she be swept along into the muddy waters of the gutter, would I not also? There it is again, my incorrigible solemnity. Why muddy? Why gutter? Names, called in a fit of jealousy, do not change the facts of the world. If Bimmel's not mine, she is not, and no fuming or fretting or arguing will serve to prove that she is. If my heart is breaking, then let it break. That will not make the world bankrupt, nor even me, for man's so much greater than the things he loses in this life. The very ocean of tears has its other shore, else none would have ever wept. But then there is society to be considered, which let society consider. If I weep, it's for myself, not for society. If Bimmel should say she's not mine, what care I where society wife may be? Suffering there must be, but I must save myself by any means in my power from one form of self-torture. I must never think that my life loses its value because of any neglect it may suffer. The full value of my life does not all go to buy my narrow domestic world. Its great commerce does not stand or fall with some petty success or failure in the bartering of my personal joys and sorrows. The time has come when I must divest Bimmela of all the ideal decorations with which I decked her. It was owing to my own weakness that I indulged such idolatry. I was too greedy. I created an angel of Bimmela in order to exaggerate my own enjoyment, but Bimmela is what she is. It's preposterous to expect that she should assume the role of an angel for my pleasure. The Creator is under no obligation to supply me with angels, just because I have an avidity for imaginary perfection. I must acknowledge that I have merely been an accident in Bimmela's life. Her nature, perhaps, can only find true union with one like Sandeep. At the same time, I must not, in false modesty, accept my rejection as my desert. Sandeep certainly has attractive qualities, which had their sway also upon myself, but yet I feel sure he's not a greater man than I. If the wreath of victory falls to his lot today, and I am overlooked, then the dispenser of the wreath will be called to judgment. I say this is no spirit of boasting. Sheer necessity has driven me to the pass, that to secure myself from utter desolation I must recognize all the value that I truly possess. Therefore, through the terrible experience of suffering, let there come upon me the joy of deliverance from self-distrust. I've come to distinguish what is really in me from what I foolishly imagined to be there. The profit and loss account has been settled, and that which remains is myself. Not a crippled self, dressed in rags and tatters, not a sick self to be nursed on an invalid diet, but a spirit which has gone through the worst and has survived. My master passed through my room a moment ago and said with his hand on my shoulder, "Get away to bed, Nikhil. The night is far advanced." The fact is, it has become so difficult for me to go to bed till late, till Bimmel is fast asleep. In the daytime we meet and even converse, but what am I to say when we are all alone together in the silence of the night? So ashamed do I feel in mind and body. "How is it, sir, you have not yet retired?" I asked in return. My master smiled a little as he left me, saying, "My sleeping days are over. I've now attained the waking age." I had written thus far, and was about to rise to go off bedwards when, through the window before me, I saw a heavy pall of July cloud suddenly part a little, and a big star shine through. It seemed to say to me, "Dreamland ties are made, and dreamland ties are broken, but I am here forever, the everlasting lamp of the bridal night." All at once my heart was full with the thought that my eternal love was steadfastly waiting me through the ages, behind the veil of material things. Through many a life and many a mirror have I seen her image, broken mirrors, crooked mirrors, dusty mirrors. Whenever I've sought to make the mirror my very own and shut it up within my box, I've lost sight of the image, but what of that? What have I to do with the mirror, or even the image? My beloved, your smile shall never fade, and every dawn there shall appear fresh for me the vermilion mark of your forehead. What childish cajolery of self-deception mocks some devil from his dark corner? Silly prattle to make children quiet. That may be, but millions and millions of children with their million cries have to be kept quiet. Can it be that all this multitude is quieted with only a lie? No. My eternal love cannot deceive me, for she's true. She is true. That's why I've seen her and shall see her so often, even in my mistakes, even through the thickest mist of tears. I've seen her and lost her in the crowd of life's marketplace and found her again, and I shall find her once more when I've escaped through the loophole of death. O cruel one, play with me no longer. If I fail to track you by the marks of your footsteps on the way, by the scent of your tresses lingering in the air, make me not weep for that forever. The unveiled star tells me not to fear. That which is eternal must always be there. Now let me go and see my Bimala. She must have spread her tired limbs in the bed, limp after her struggles, and be asleep. I'll leave a kiss on her forehead without waking her, and that shall be the flower offering of my worship. I believe I could forget everything after death, all my mistakes, all my sufferings, but some vibration of the memory of that kiss would remain. For the wreath which is being woven out of the kisses of many a successive birth is to crown the eternal beloved. As the gong of the watch rang out, sounding the hour or two, my sister-in-law came into the room. "Whatever are you doing, dear brother?" she cried. "For pity's sake, go to bed and stop worrying so. I cannot bear to look on that awful shadow of pain on your face." Tears welled up in her eyes and overflowed as she entreated me thus. I couldn't utter a word, but took the dust of her feet as I went off to bed.